Hello and welcome back to this channel, to this video. Today we are exploring another scholarship in New Zealand, the Manaaki New Zealand Scholarship opportunities. So if you're new here, just take your pen, your book or jotter or notepad, anything you have, and take down some notes because you're going to be learning a lot of things. And if this is also your first time, you should check out the other videos with other scholarship opportunities which you might be eligible for. So we go straight to the scholarship page, the Manaaki New Zealand Scholarships, which means they offer a lot of scholarships, but we're going to find out the one which we are eligible for. So here you have a brief description or brief explanation of what the scholarships are all about. So there are many scholarships, as we said. It has the eligibility details, where you have to apply, and best tips for a successful application. So we're going to try to find out just what concerns us on this page. We're always trying to be as brief as possible because we are looking at just the requirements for application, the eligibility criteria, what you need to do to find out to be able to apply, and the step-by-step process. So there are a lot of things you can explore on your own before you even start writing your application documents or preparing personal statements to submit and other things. So you can do that on your own while studying New Zealand, the the country itself and everything about the scholarship. You can explore that on your own. So let's go straight to the application. So let's try to read more. So after getting, if you want, you can read a bit about why you have to study in New Zealand. As I mentioned in other segments, these pages are just like trying to hype themselves or let you know the importance or the advantages you'll get in studying in that particular university, in that particular country, or under that particular scholarship. So we'll go straight to the types of scholarships. As we said before, the New Zealand Manaaki Scholarships is a list of main scholarships offered. So, the New Zealand government offers scholarships to eligible citizens from developing countries. So, the Manaaki is offered by the New Zealand government. So, here they're telling us the New Zealand government offers scholarships to eligible citizens from developing countries to study abroad at a New Zealand or Pacific education institution. So, there are several scholarships offered by this Manaaki or the Zealand government. So the first one is the scholarships for undergraduate and postgraduate study. These are full tertiary scholarships for eligible international students to study full-time at a New Zealand or Pacific education institution. We also have the vocational short-term training, which are short scholarships for skills training and on-the-job work experience for workers from eligible countries. You also have other short-term training scholarships that are for cohorts of workers from eligible countries. So for any of these scholarships you are interested in, you click here to find if your country is eligible for that. But here we are interested more in the full-time undergraduate or postgraduate study. So we go to this. So to apply to study in New Zealand under the Manaaki scholarship, as an undergraduate or postgraduate, you have to check if your country is eligible. The Manaaki New Zealand scholarships are available for citizens from specific countries. Eligible Pacific countries, you have Middle East and Middle Asian countries, you have African countries, Caribbean, Latin America. So we go to Africa because that's where I am and most of the viewers. So for the eligible countries in Africa, you have this list, and we can see Cameroon is one of the. So for these countries eligible in Africa, you are eligible for getting a postgraduate certificate diploma of 1 year, master's degrees 1 to 2 years, or PhD for up to 3.5 or 3.5 years. So if you are from Cameroon, you can apply for any of these levels of study under the Manaaki New Zealand Scholarship. We are advised to apply as early as possible, especially for countries who receive a large volume of applications. So you might not know if your country actually receives, but it's better and preferable you apply as early as possible. Although we have seen before that the scholarship hasn't been launched yet. So now that we have seen that this country is eligible, you go to check the other eligibility criteria. On the second point, which is the eligibility criteria, to apply, you must meet of them, all of the eligibility criteria mentioned. Answering this eligibility questionnaire will give you an idea of whether or not you are eligible, or you come to this online eligibility test, which is currently closed because the New Zealand Manaaki Scholarship has not been launched yet. But when it is, you can find out if you are eligible or not. So I'll advise you keep checking the page to get an update on when it will be launched. So for the requirements, you have age requirements. To apply for Manaki, you must be 18 years or older when you start your scholarship. This means if you're 17 when you apply, you must have your 18th birthday before you start. Okay. Then you have Samoa exceptions. Applicants from the Samoa Foundation can be 17 years of age. There is no upper age limit for applicants. However, we do prefer applicants who are under 40. Okay, so this is kind of the lower limit is 18, the upper limit is 40. Although they say there is no upper limit and they say they prefer candidates who are under 40 years. It already shows that if you're above 40, they'll prefer to take someone who is less than that. So you have that. Then you have work experience. Postgraduate applicants must have relevant work experience. Work experience can be paid, unpaid, or voluntary and must meet the following criteria: 1 year of full time work, 30 hours or more per week, or 2 years of part time work, up to 29 hours per week. Okay. In selection, preference is given to applicants who demonstrate how their proposed course of study aligns with their current work experience. We prefer applicants who will continue in their current job sector after they finish their scholarship. Okay, so you have to provide a work experience, especially if you're applying for a postgraduate course. And you also demonstrate in your personal statements and essays how this work experience or how your studies is going to enhance this work experience after or help you to further this particular work experience that you've had. For applicants who do not need to submit work experience, applicants who are in their final year of high school while applying, so you're probably applying for undergraduates. I don't know if that was part of the scholarship too. If you're applicants who are applying in the academic year immediately after completing high school, applicants who are in paid or unpaid employment. Okay, the third condition, scholars must contribute to their country's development. So this is the summary. In summary, this implies that in your essays or in your personal statement, your education in New Zealand or whatever you learn, the particular degree you obtain, will contribute in developing your country. Also, you can mention in developing the development of New Zealand too. So let's see. Okay, so we expect scholars to contribute to their country's social or economic development for at least 2 years after completing their scholarship study, and this is a condition of the scholarship. We also only select scholars who have been living in their home country for 2 years prior to applying for a scholarship. Preference is given to applicants who clearly describe in their application how they will contribute towards their country's social and economic development after their scholarship. So in essence, you have to prove through your essays, through your personal statement that after the studies in New Zealand, you'll be able to continue with a project, continue with an initiative, continue with something in your country to improve its social and economic standards. So, and they have mentioned that it's a condition for you to go back to your country for at least 2 years and carry out those social or economic development plans which you will demonstrate. Okay, the fourth is residency requirements in a scholar's home country. So you must have been in your country for at least 2 years prior to applying. So if you've just been 1 year in your country, you are not eligible. It's for all the scholars. To be successful, you have to meet both academic entry requirements and English language requirements of your preferred institution. So, in most scholarships that are offered to that are like government funded, you have to look for your university or the university you're interested in, the degree course you're interested in. You have to find out their own requirements. So here they're telling you about the English language requirements and academic, meaning your transcript, certificates, and all other documents that they might need. Also, PhD applicants need to find supervisors because at the interview, when you get to the interview phase or stage, you would need to show proof of a supervisor which you have secured or discussions which you've had with the supervisor, either on your project, on how you're going to work, and so on. So you have that, and then you have English language entry requirements for each course or university. It might be different, but generally there are some minimum requirements for English language. The IELTS score 6.5, no, not less than 6. You have TOEFL score of 90 with at least 21 in the writing section. And you have this other less common English test. You can look at that too. So the test scores, the minimum amount we've seen is both for postgraduate and undergraduate. So you can either take the IELTS, TOEFL, the PTE, and or Cambridge Academic English. Okay, so you have that, but you also have who organizes and pays for these English language tests. I don't know. The Manaaki Scholarship. Basically, we are seeing that if you can it's possible for you to apply even if you do not have any test scores in English. But after application, if you subsequently get shortlisted, you will have to write the test, the English language test. And it's possible that you'll be given back your money when you get to New Zealand. So that's summarily what this English test requirements mean, but you can read further on it. Then you have eligibility for Manaaki Scholarship alumni. That's is none of our business for now. But if you're an alumni of this Manaaki New Zealand Scholarship, you can still apply again or read further since the scholarships are many. It's not just one single scholarship. You also have immigration and visa requirements. This is general information that you can also check after you have submitted your application. You also have the border requirements, which you can also read further, at least after submitting or maybe before submitting, if that will be a deal breaker for you. So we have that for the eligibility. So the next thing is the study subjects. Okay, so there are subjects that are strongly recommended based on each country's social and economic needs. Here they say note applications that do not strongly align with our recommended subjects are highly unlikely to be considered. Suggest you research how your proposed study relates to one of the preferred subjects for your country. In the application form, you need to describe how your preferred course relates to one of our recommended study subjects, the skills and knowledge you want to gain, how these skills and knowledge are important to your country's development. Okay, so here we can check the institutions and the courses that this particular scholarship recommends.